What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe in the house with the third update of Yumeko book number 3, The Supreme Star Striker, which is more than likely, which just like with the previous, updates on the other two books, third one's usually the final update there. So pretty much the same with this one. Before we go into it, just want to let y'all know, make sure you definitely like, share, subscribe, little super thanks, and also definitely get some of our books, which include Yumiko number 1. That way you can be caught up when, of course, book number 2, novel number 2 comes out. Should be at the end of not the month of June, but the end of July. We should be seeing Yumiko book number 2 published, and also with this final update on Yumiko book number 3, that means that the rough draft for it has been completed as well. So probably I would say probably somewhere within September, I plan for Yumiko book number 3 to come out as well. So yeah, for one thing, the material for number 3 has kind of came pretty quickly there because of some of the source material used for the book. Yeah, especially with involving Star Striker. So yeah, but definitely get caught up with Yumiko book number 1, as well as also checking out our other books, and also definitely support us on that Patreon. Definitely do that there, just like your boy EJ the Supreme, as well as also the Iceman universe. So yeah, both I got two Patreons on here now. So get on that so you can be the next one. Yep. So EJ the Supreme and Iceman Universe, definitely check out their channels. Got stuff's going on with EJ. Check out stuff going on with Iceman Universe as well. You got the whole thing with reacting to Ed Letty. Do 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 do. And also Naruto. I've recently started looking at his Naruto reaction. I also looked at the Ed and Eddie reaction, but I've been looking at his Naruto reaction because been a while since I've seen Naruto, and sort of wanted to kind of a good way to look at, especially if you especially being his Patreon as well, in order to see the full length episodes and all that. So yeah, definitely check that out, and definitely check out a big sis Casey and her YouTube channel as well as also what different things that she's bringing into the channel. So yeah, definitely check those guys out, EJ, Iceman, and Casey. So yeah, check them all out. And now on with the show. Oh, and don't forget to also hang out with us on Discord and sell some things on Mercari. Discord and Mercari. All right, now on with the show. So let's do a little quick recap here. Those of y'all who may be new tuning into the channel and seen the first two updates, just a quick little briefing. Book obviously from the rough draft. We obviously start off Star Striker. Samuel also already in action as Star Striker. Pretty much going up against these three crooks: House, Monty, and Gee. He has a little help from Flora, who was mentioned in the first two Yumiko books, a little fairy that kind of help him out. She's kind of grown. She's grown quite attached to him and everything, to the point that they was sort of comparing. They was making some comparisons of their teamwork and everything. And one thing Flora brought up is, well, we're kind of like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. But the only thing that she was upset about was the fact of how Peter Pan seemed to be more fond of Wendy than Tinkerbell. Saying was a little teed off about that, and was like, and yeah, it's like, well, you'll never manage me like Peter Pan did, would ya? So kind of got that going on there, and of course, Samuel states, that he is the Shreveport Defender Star Striker. Then, of course, they're all talking about this with the others at the firehouse. Brownie and his friends and everything, and Also, Hiko and Julie and Tim and Julius and Tim, everybody having a little discussion while eating breakfast and everything, and what this could possibly entail for the future. Julie offering, that both Samuel and Hiko would probably need some training, some extra training to really perfect what they're doing, especially if Samuel ends up getting superpowers, which he will, which pretty obvious that's going to happen. If especially based from the references from the Star Trek comics there. Uh, so yeah, there's all of that. They get a little tour around Barnhart City and everything. It's pretty cool. Barnhart looks quite a lot like Shreveport and everything. Few little differences, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of similarities. Then of course, they end up having a meet and greet. There's one in Samuel's neighborhood and also one in Hiko's neighborhood. In Samuel's neighborhood, him and Brian, because of course Brian, who's been introduced into this book, he's already friends with Samuel and Hiko, knows about Yumeko and all that. So the two of them are introduced to some new neighbors. The guy, young kid named Calvin, with his adoptive father, Marcus Wayne, of course, owns a little youth center and everything. So there's that, and also these two girls, Angela and Pierre, and her sister Monet Chanel Pierre. Both of them are as if I hadn't mentioned it before, mention it again. Both of them based off of my friend Angela, who, as to say, God rest her soul. So it's kind of and they say a little bit of her is in these, a little bit of her spirit is in these characters there. Um, so they're introduced. They're both of these girls from France. Calvin mentions that he's from Europe. I think Ethiopia. Yeah, Ethiopia and Africa. The place that they mentioned in the Ten Commandments there, when Moses was presenting different stuff to the Pharaoh. Bellers. So even that even gets a mention. Um, so over in Hiko's little meet and greet, just so happened Naomi moves into the neighborhood as right next, and it's gonna be revealed that she's right next door to Samuel, the girl next door. They kick it off pretty well, just sort of talking with each other. We find out Naomi's actually from, she's born and raised in Milan, Italy, but she's also part Japanese. This is due to the fact her dad is Italian, but her mom is Japanese. And yes, this is what. Ever since Heroes of Dreams, this was something that Casey has had in Naomi's character. Despite some of the changes that's occurred with Naomi from Heroes of Dreams to here, that's one of the things that actually stayed the same, was her being part Italian and part Japanese there. Say, a little interesting mix there. So then, of course, Flora shows up at Samuel's little meet and greet, hoping to go on patrol with Samuel. Tries to mingle with the meet and greet, but gets a little upset when she sees Angela and Monet over there with the boy Samuel and Brian and Calvin. She jumps in, and this is talking about, well, I'm his girlfriend. So of course Samuel has to pull her to the side, and there's that little talk that her and Sammy have, kind of away from the party in private. Or like say one of the things is mentioned. Say Sammy's like, well, I didn't even know we was on that level of boyfriend girlfriend, and she's like, well, what level did you think we were at when you kissed my hand and asked me out on a date? The kiss was a courtesy, and technically, I said a nice dinner in the movie, not a date. To maybe, get to know each other and maybe possibly get to the level of a boyfriend and girlfriend. so, so that's kind of cleared up and everything, but then of course we have to have some party crashers. Turns out House Money and Gee and their boss AJ, the Master Shot, say Alton Jaggins, but he calls himself AJ. Show up in a big crab-shaped spaceship and crab-style battle armor, demanding for Star Strikers. So Sammy's like, well, if they want Star Striker, I'll give them Star Striker. Flor, he obviously has Flora to help him out and everything. Uh, turns out, Hiko ends up as him and as him and Naomi are still talking over his meet and greet. Uh, all of a sudden his watch goes off, and Yiro mentions to Hiko and Naomi in his astro form that he senses that Samuel's in danger, which that's true. Uh, so of course, they and it looks like I got to change. Oh boy, yep. Well, like I say, gotta make sure I do gotta go back and make a few changes before I print this out, but I got time for that. I accidentally put Samuel to the Hikos there. Like, wait a minute. So, of course, we also found out that Naomi's parents know about Yumeko. Just they told Naomi about it the same way Hiko's grandparents told him about it. As in later we find out also Hiko's mother, as well as a couple of his uncles, which is his mother's brothers, obviously. So, I thought I heard thunder for a second. That maybe. But so of course, back over at Sammy's house, Flora poops away AJ and his henchmen, of course, and also even puts everybody to sleep because so that way once it's all over, then they can wake up, and that gives her and Samuel time to get this taken care of. AJ and his crew are poofed away to the Blanchard Beach, which not a little distance away, outside of Shreveport. And then of course shows up as Star Striker to take them on. But of course, even with him and Flores fighting them together, they still, thanks to the tech they got, still managed to kind of get the advantage of it, especially with their spaceship, because it ends up giving Flora quite a shock when she tries to deactivate its defense system. Like, well, actually, when she tries to get rid of it, and it turns out they reveal that both the ship and their armor is made from Magitech. It's like, well, how do these guys have that kind of tech? And you think it's all over, but of course, the ship fires its lasers, and this is where Star Striker's power where his powers would activate. This allows him to get Flora out of the way of the blast, as well as also being able to invade the blast at the last minute, and even destroy the ship. So with what's called the Star Blast power. So yeah, and of course the crooks are like, well, how did he do that? He should have been blown to bits. Doesn't make any sense. Flora's like, well, you guys cruise around an alien spaceship shaped like a crab, and this is where you draw the line. Yeah. So almost got a little Deadpool in her with this with the way with her behavior, that all she gotta do is break the fourth wall. so of course, AJ's like, all right, well, bring it on then. Of course, so Star Blast power against AJ and his AJ House Money Gear. All their they fire their really big lasers from their battle armor. Say it's like a big laser beam thing. See who got the strongest laser. Kind of like Green Lantern and Sinestro in that episode of Static Shock. But of course, Hiko along with his mom and Naomi, they arrive there, and Yiro comes out and and he tells shouts out to Samuel, don't listen to them, Star Striker. Just trust and have faith in God, and you can defeat them the same way I defeated Skelegon in the name of Jesus. This is actually pretty similar to when Joey first dueled Mai for the first time in Yu-Gi-Oh! And and he was starting to kind of lose his cool because Mai was talking about all this stuff about the tournament, like on this island and this tournament. Like what so well, she mentioned how that's why say when the tournament forces you to face each other, where's your friendship then? He's losing it. He needs help. Yuki, help him. And of course, Tim came out. Don't listen to her, Joey. We're here to help you, just like you're there for us. She's using a strategy that's been used for centuries. Believe me, I know. And you get that look in your eye. I believe everything you say. So, yeah, kind of a little small river. There's, like I say, quite a bit from, like I say, in this series. Like I say, it's reference. There's some references to other things too. Don't get me wrong, but quite a bit from Yu-Gi-Oh as well there. So, AJ's like, "Well, save your sermon, preacher boy, 'cause that your friend up there is toast." But of course, Star. Let's just say Star turns up the heat on his power. And earlier, Brian and Billy were talking about how having the power of the stars could get really hot. You know, you talking about a 4 second called solar flares and stuff like that. So Yiro quickly encases him, Naomi, and Hiko's mother in a cooling barrier, a magical barrier with some cool air in it, and that allows Star Striker to unleash a striking starburst launch combo. He practically fires himself like a big star blast missile right through AJ some lasers, and it kind of for Money and Gee, they sort of panic and like, oh well, we gotta get out of here. Like, AJ's like, where are you guys going? And Hal's like, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? So, the fact of Monty and Gee taking off like that, that I kind of first thing came to my mind writing that part was Goldar in Power Rangers when he was piloting the Zord and everything to fight the Rangers, and it was a really strong Zord because they had to do all the different combinations the Dragon Zord and Ultra Titanus and all that. And Goldar, and when he was about to get defeat, when his Zord was about to blow up, Goldar was like, "Oh no, I'm out of here," and he teleported out. Sadly, originally the Super Sentai version of that episode, it was actually Bandora, which we know as Rita Repulsa. It was her son piloting that Zord, and well, he didn't escape out of there like Goldar, and yeah, he ended up dying there. So yeah, hey, that was a bit, oh boy. So the very he's AJ and House, they end up getting the full impact of the blast. Of course, you know they're still okay, but their armor ain't so good. Oh yeah, that armor that got burnt. And now the last couple of things I will tell you about for this final update. Shanice shows up and takes them back to Yumiko. Well, takes the armor back to Yumiko. The how at least Money and Gee's armor, because it's still in good shape. Because you know the spaceship and House and AJ's armor is pretty much total there. I think she probably would take that as well. They probably could salvage it or something. But yeah, she takes that back. Then they explain to Hiko's mom about who Shanice is and everything once she takes off. There's a once she takes off, and there's a small little thing of her saying like, I wonder who's behind that masked Star Striker. She doesn't say. Now, of course, he doesn't get unmasked or anything in front of her, but you might be wondering, does Shanice know who Star Striker is under the mask? I'll just leave that to you guys to speculate and make theories of. Yeah, and it's like, well, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. Of course, make sure it's family friendly though. Yeah, family friendly. Yeah, I've seen a few of his stuff. It's okay, but yeah, it can get a little wild at times. So yeah, just keep it family friendly there. But pretty sure some of y'all probably think that she knows, which who knows? You might depend. As they say, when I get to that point, we'll find out. So yeah, that's so of course Yolanda tells them, well, Big Pop and Granny, they faced a lot of stuff like this when they went to Yumeko and told me and my brothers, Hiko's uncles, of course, about this. So y'all better be ready for anything, yeah, because this is only the beginning. They of course they go back to their neighborhood meet and greets. Star Striker actually introduces himself to all the neighbors as Star Striker. Uh, Sort of like it, kind of like similar to Static Shock at the end of the first episode when he showed up at the school. The name Static. I put a shock to your system. I see you guys still got some work in progress. Fortunately, I'm what's called your all-purpose kind of superheroes. Yep. So yeah, sort of similar to that there. Uh, and there is a bit of an introduction that Flora does make at this party and everything. Being they claim as of course working alongside with Star Striker. Um, let's see. I think I might. Okay, I'll tell you this one. Okay, so she reveals herself as Star Striker's partner, Rosewing. So she kind of has a little bit of a secret identity too. Yeah, somewhat. Since of course she isn't gonna expose her fairy form in the real world, obviously. That's why she hid her wings and everything. But yeah, as Rosewing, yeah, that's a-okay. There is a thing about this name Rosewing. Believe it or not, Rosewing was actually something that I came up with way back in Heroes of Dreams. As you all know, probably noticed in some pictures of the books that I would sometimes show, and some of my previous videos of different books that I'd be telling you guys about, like or some of my books. One of those books is issue number 1 of Dora, which was actually while I did illustrate it, it was actually written by my former nursery student, Lanisa Howard. Which after that, after she made it, after she got it, and helped her get it published and everything. After a while, I thought she was going to continue so a little more, have like some more issues come after that. But at the moment, after that first one, she said she wasn't really gonna continue with that right now. So, like I said, I don't know if she'll come back or to it or not. That's up to her. But in that, however, the whole thing behind even just that first issue that she did come up with for Dora number 1, at one back in Heroes of Dream, and that was back when she was in the nursery. When my first, I want to say it was my first. I think. Oh yeah, I think it was my first Heroes of Dream book because my first Star Striker comic came out in 2017. My first Heroes of Dream book, 2010. I remember telling her and some of the other kids in our nursery about what I had going on. First time, even matter of fact, that was the first book series that I published, Heroes of Dream. So first when it came out and everything, and Nisha was the one that started getting them and everything out of the kids in the nursery. There was another one that sort of kept up with them too, a little bit like her, but she she was pretty much she kept up with it the most. And then even with the other books like Star Striker and Bubblina comics, yeah, she kept up with that, and because of that, that's what made her make the first issue to sort of get a taste of what making a book was like. So, okay, so with the character Dora, in the after the first 10 books of Heroes of Dream, there was an anniversary book. It was a real big deal, and I know one day I'm gonna have to read. I might possibly do videos of reading through those books for you, just like I've been, doing audio readings with Yumeko. I might do that since they're novels too. But there were two more books that came after this big anniversary book that was supposed to continue the series, but then I got into the comics, and yeah, Heroes of Dream sort of stopped there. So there was a book 11 and a book 12 to Heroes of Dream. In book 11, there was quite a bit of ideas going on of how to start that book, and one of the ideals that did go into it involved Dora's first appearance, which was Nisha's character, along with three other characters that were teamed up with Dora. Originally, before the name Dora came up, because it was actually Nisha that came up with the name Dora, before she came up with Dora and some of the ideas that went into book 11, originally, sorry about that interruption, by the way. Um, so yeah, that's what I was talking about, Rose Swing. So yeah, before Nisha came up with the idea of naming her fairy character Dora, the idea I had at first was calling her Rosewing and making her a plant type fairy, sort of similar to Lilymon from Digimon. Yep. So yeah, that was that at first, but of course, yeah. Uh, then she said, "Well, I prefer Dora the cat fairy." So, hmm. So okay, so that, but yeah, Rosewing is being used here for Dora's little other alter egos, or like Sammy the Star Striker, Flora the Rose Wings. Yeah, so that happens, and there is some other stuff that happens towards the in the movie, like with Shanice, and also with Calvin and Angela Monet. There's a little something that happens with them, a little something on their end. Only other thing that I'm going to tell you before I wrap all this up is there's a bit of an epilogue here. So it's actually, so that's something a little new that the other two books didn't have. So almost like the post-credit scene of a Marvel movie almost. Um, so Samuel's kind of walking, and there's a few changes I'll probably make to this here before I print it out. But what I do have here, Samuel, he's kind of in deep thought. Uh, he about all that's happened, and he puts on his Star Trek costume. They're sort of reflecting for the moment, and well, he forgot to close the door to his room, and all of a sudden, let's just say if this was on TV and the camera panned over to the open door, sort of like Spider-Man: Homecoming, you then see his mom in the doorway. Now, unlike Spider-Man: Homecoming, because it was PG-13, uh, well, she's not going to use the same language that May was about to say there, as Woody say, the word I'm looking for, I can't say, because they're a preschool toys present. Can't start yet. So instead, she's like, "What in the world, Mom?" So yeah, his mom will find out that he's Star Striker. Yeah, and that's gonna go over into the next book. Yep. So that's pretty much what I got for this final update. Not quite not quite as long as the other two, but that's okay. Hey, final update. What really just kind of added a little bit much to it to pump it up a bit. So yeah, like I said before, book 2 I'm planning to get out at the end of July. Then and then July, after getting all the proofs and stuff in, then once it's in and published and everything, Also selling that along with some more book one, two books to sell. Uh, then at the same time, book three will be getting proofed and everything, so it can make its debut at the end of September. Now, just advise because this is kind of back to back with the books, and got to be mindful of just prepare just in case my proofers might have a little something little something in the schedule that in there the daily schedule that might possibly make it take a little longer. Just be prepared for that. Like I said, I plan for book three to be out at the end of September, but it could possibly be early, depending on all depends. But it could also end up being a little late, which might carry into October. I'm just saying, of being released. So just be advised of that in case if that happens. If it be kind of a little bit later than September, what I'm expecting. If it's a little later than what I'm expecting in September, I will definitely let you guys know because things do happen. Um, and being back to back, yeah, yeah, because I've got to be honest, I kind of part of me, one like I said, one reason I got this done as quick as I did because I had so much stuff from my previous Star Trek comics to reference, along with other stuff to kind of really, especially the last half of the book too. The first chapter, and then the last half of the book, and then the little stuff I went back and added in. It just kind of came out of me. Sometimes my there's one thing you say, artists are eccentric and also authors are eccentric. So, yeah, take that for what you may. So, yeah, it just kind of happens that way. But, but I put it this way. I should be able to have a bit of a break. Now, I would say that I should be able to have a break, to just, sell more book one, get book two, then book three out, because rough drafts already been written, and then sort of, have let Yumeko kind of rest for a little bit there. Not saying that I wouldn't work on any of the rough drafts, but I'm just like, as far as from like, oh hey, now let's go proof this. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little space before I jump into trying to get any more out after the third one is released. So just to clarify that, because brothers got to rest a little bit, and so do the people that's working with me. So yeah, and that's gonna give me some time. One way I'm gonna kind of possibly make myself break, depending on what I come up with, is be working on a little fan fiction. Some of you guys may have seen the video already of some pictures for it. And I probably have a video talking about about it a little bit later. A fanfic that I got an idea for Superman and Supergirl Reign of Justice. So that's a little something that I possibly will be working on, depending on what comes to me. To kind of have a little break from, Yumeko. Now, just to let you guys know, one thing about that, being that that's a fan fiction, and we all know that's DC properties, this will not be published for selling or, because I don't want DC Comics to be like, oh no, he's trying to take our ideas for his own. Sue him! It's a fan fiction, so yeah, I cannot market and sell this like I do with Yumeko, because Yumeko is my creation, but I can't do that with this. However, what I will do is for myself, because I talk with the people that Amazon Kindle, I talk with them before making this video. They say it's a way that you can take fan fictions and you can get them published through them. Hear me out. You can get them published through them, have it as a book, order yourself a copy, and then as soon as you order yourself a copy and get that copy, unpublish it. Because that way, I can have it watch put my hand on it and tell you guys about it, but I don't. But I'm not selling it though. Yeah, I just have it. Tell you guys probably even do an audio reading of it as well. So um, that's probably what I'm gonna do with some other fan fiction ideas that I have that I want to get out. That I just want to get out there as well. But see, the fan fiction that's strictly for that's not for selling. So the only way you guys are gonna be able to hear about that is just here on YouTube. So that's just made. So it's basically just made for funsies. I mean, don't get me wrong. All the other books I make is, I mean, I like doing them as well. But obviously the books that come from me, that's going out there to the world because that's me. The fan fictions, they're just that's purely you know non-profit there for the fan fictions there non-profit. That way I don't get in trouble with DC Comics. And now one thing I don't know if I don't know if this will happen. Don't quote me on this. But if it were possible, these fan fiction ideals could possibly become a reality if I have permission with the companies. Like just like how James Gunn he's doing his whole DC universe now. If for some reason like well, hey Gabe, this is DC Comics. We're gonna let you publish your version of these DC characters. If that happens, my fan fiction will be all to go. Only under the condition that I can do it the way I want to do it. That's the only way that I'm gonna do it. In other words, don't be like, well, Gabe, you got to do this particular trend or this thing that's in the society today. Yeah, some some of you probably get the hint of where I'm going in on that. But anyway, so yeah, but if not, well, fan fictions here on YouTube. Enjoy. So yeah, that's what's gonna be coming up. That's what's be coming up soon. Uh, Along with the Yumeko trilogy, between releases on July and possibly September, possibly if not September, just a little bit later. Just gotta be a little patient with it. But like I say, ain't no biggie, no biggie. Like I say again, things do happen. And like I say, I do, like I say, and as an independent author, I gotta be understanding to these conditions. So I gotta be patient myself too, just like you guys. I really want that book. You gotta be patient, Gabe. But I really want that book. Be patient, Gabe. So, yeah, as like Mr. Brown say, I said to myself said, you say you gotta be patient. So, okay. So anyway, that's what's coming up. And say if y'all enjoyed that and everything, definitely like, share, subscribe. Little super thanks. Get some of our books. All the books that we have available that include Yumeko 1 and also the other two that will be coming out later. And also support us on that Patreon, everybody. Just like your boy EJ the Supreme and also the Iceman universe. Do like the support us on Patreon, be the next Patreon next to those two. And also check out their channels. Lots of good stuff on their channels. EJ with his fitness and everything, with his fitness and other things like cookie crumbles. Iceman with A.A. Diddy and Naruto. Definitely good to check out. And also Big Sis Casey, all her little blogs and little miscellaneous things to check out there. Pretty interesting things on her channel as well and stuff for the books. And also hang out with us in Discord and say some stuff on my Carry app. And we will see y'all in the next video. Thank you. Hello. I was like, when is he gonna stop doing that voice? Hey, I just do things, okay? Y'all take care, everybody.